welcome to another Yoga at Home. My name's Kirsten and we're going to get started. Go ahead and find your feet beneath you, spread out through your toes. You can start by planting your big toes and lifting up all of the little ones, trying to get as much spread in between them as you can, and then putting all the little ones down and lifting up the big ones. And then planting the big toes down, looking down, trying to see a little space in between each one of your toes. And start to roll back through your shoulders, slowing that breathing down. Maybe finding any little crunchy spots in those shoulders that need some extra attention. As you roll those shoulders, start to slow the breathing down. Lift up tall through your spine, lift up tall through the kneecaps. Start to activate all those muscles from the bottoms of the feet all the way up the legs. Take one more circle around. Let those arms be heavy and loose. Inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, pressing through the palms, creating some resistance in the arms. Again, inhale, scoop. Activating your legs. Exhale, pressing through the palms, ribs to hips. And again, inhale, lift, activating those legs. Exhale, pressing down and through. One more time. Inhale, scooping up through your breath, so strong. Exhale the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Exhale, forward fold, diving down. First one in the morning or day, wherever you're at with your day. And you can just let that gravity work on the upper body. If you have a block and you'd like to use a block to bring the floor up to you, you can do that. Couple breaths here, just breathing into the belly, inhaling your spine a little bit taller. Exhaling, letting the torso melt toward the legs. Maybe starting to feel a little spiral in the thigh bones. Take one more breath. Inhale, halfway up, extend your spine. Exhale, back down, drop the chin. Deep inhale all the way up, activate those legs. Exhale to heart center, drawing the midline of that body. Inhale, right back up. Exhale, diving down. Drop the chin into that forward fold. And again, you can let those arms just go with gravity. You can hold the elbows if you like, or the backs of the legs, under the feet. Whatever is going to work for you. Take a couple more breaths. Start reaching up through the sits bones. If you need to shake your head out a little bit, you can. Relax the muscles in your face. And release any hold you might have on your next inhale. Inhale, halfway up, stretch your spine. Exhale, back down. Inhaling all the way up, strong arms, strong legs. Exhale to your heart center, all the way to your mountain. So if you are not at the top of your mat, come on up to the top of your mat. And you can have a block handy if you like having that right there. Spread out through your toes. And lift up through the knees. Find that tall mountain posture. Inhale, lift strong through the arms. Exhale, diving down, long, tall spine. Inhale, halfway. Exhale your hands back down, taking that right foot all the way back into a tall lunge, just floating back, taking some time to find that lunge as we enter into our first sun salutation of the practice. Really long press through the back foot, forward reach through the front, top of the head, through the front shin. Start firming up through those legs, reaching through the spine, belly button pulls up and in. Use your breath to help the pose here. Inhale yourself taller, constantly trying to get a little bit longer to the front and back of that mat. As you exhale, feel the belly button pull in, let the hips just melt toward that mat. And if you'd like to add some movement, you can add some movement on your inhale and on your exhale. Big toes anchored. Lots of energy through that back foot. Spine is really straight, so checking where that's at. Just envisioning your spine starting at the tailbone and reaching through the top of your head, constantly getting a little bit longer. And on your last exhale here, bring your hands to the mat, step back into your plank. Plank is on your toes or on your knees, either one. Spreading out through the palms, activating through the fingers. Undersides of the knuckles are strong. Lots of good breath here. If you're on your feet, standing firm on those feet. Pushing strong through the hands, broadening that upper back. 2 more breaths. And on your next exhale, slowly come down, chaturanga, all the way to the mat. Flattening through the toes. Inhale, peel the chest back, baby cobra. Roll those shoulder heads back and open. You can float your hands, activate the low back, reach through the toes. Reach forward through the heart, just sending that rib cage out. And then bringing that back down, plant the palms. Inhale any amount as you lift and press into your cobra. Really mindful of the low back. As you breathe, let that low belly expand. Send the ribs forward, shoulder blades are pulling back and together. Elbows are tucked in close to the ribs. Inhaling one more time into the belly. And tuck the toes. Exhale, shifting back. Find that first downward dog of our practice. And if you need to just kind of settle into that, feel where you're at. See what's going on with your pose today. And pedal out through those heels, just whatever kind of feels good in this pose right here. Finding all those little tight spots and working through them. If you need to shift your weight a little bit, taking it to the right, and then to the left. Little side body stretch as you sway those hips. Bringing that center, taking another breath or two. Eyes looking forward. And walking that up right and left. Find your forward fold, relaxing the upper body. Spreading out those toes. Inhale all the way up. Strong arms and legs. Exhale to your heart center and lifting tall through the spine. All the way into your mountain. Take a deep breath up. Exhale, diving down, tall spine. Drop the chin. Inhale halfway. Stretch long through the vertebrae. Exhale back down. Left leg takes a giant step, finds a lunge. Taking the time to place your feet, to place your hands, to find that lengthened spine. Start to feel the firm pressure in your front foot. Really good conscious connection between your foot and the mat. Pressing strong through the back foot, finding the height, the opposition in your pose as you extend forward through the head, back through that foot. Feeling that breath working to help give those muscles support, engaging through the core, those bandha muscles. And if you have room to move on this side of the body, you can inhale and exhale and allow that movement to match the breath. Constant lengthening through the crown of the head. As you're extending that front leg, spinning that left hip forward, keeping the hips square to the front of the mat. One more breath here. And as you exhale, stepping back into plank, toes or knees, either one. Couple breaths. And you can stay right here in plank, or if you'd like to, you can add a shoulder tap. Inhaling to tap one shoulder, and then your body is going to start to sway if you're doing this. You'll notice a right to left shift in your weight. So do your best to stabilize using those core muscles minimize that sway of your body. Taking 2 more breaths here. Bringing it back, center, take a breath. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way down to your mat, flattening through your toes. Inhale, up into that baby cobra again. Send your heart forward, pull the shoulders back, reach through your toes. Inhale, lift forward through those fingers. Exhale, press back through your palms. Trying to squeeze your hands toward each other, keeping those toes down. And then bringing that back, rest for a moment. Extend those arms, inhale. Exhale, reach and extend, toenails are still down. And then press through. Interlocking your hands, roll the shoulders back and open. Reach through those toes, allow them to lift. Open the front of the shoulders and ribs. And if you want to, you can roll the heart to one side. Inhale, exhale, center, navel pulls in. Roll the heart to the other side. Big inhale, exhale, navel pulls in. Release that down. Plant your palms and your toenails. Inhale, up into your cobra, any amount. Even out that pressure across all 10 fingers. All 10 toes. Inhale, your toes under. Exhale, rolling back into that downward dog. Belly button pulls in to pike your body up. Spiral the thigh bones inward here. Just finding that extension through the hips, extension from the hands all the way up the arms. Find that rotation as you squeeze the creases of the elbows forward. As you spiral the thigh bones inward. Lots of good breath. Fanning open through the sits bones, trying to increase the distance between the hips and the heels. Take 1 more breath. Melting the heart between the shoulders. Eyes look forward, walking up left and right. Relaxing into that forward fold. Spread out those toes. Take a deep inhale all the way up. And exhale all the way into your mountain. Shoulders are nice and wide. You can just take a minute, kind of notice how your shoulders are sitting below the ears. Notice how the arms are hanging off the shoulders. See if you're holding your weight evenly from your right to your left side. And we're going to keep going, keep getting our body nice and warm as we continue our practice. So come to the top of your mat and spread out through your toes and roll back and open. Zipping up nice and strong. Inhaling to lift. Scooping up that breath. Exhale, diving down, drop the chin. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale into a plank. You can step or hop. Take a breath. Exhale, move through your chaturanga, scooping through, inhaling up into your cobra, your upward dog. And you can either go into your downward dog, or if you want to reverse that chaturanga, you can bend those elbows and then press strong into your downward dog. From here, you can stay right where you are, or you can bring the thumbs and index fingers together to make a diamond shape. Looking at your toes, just gazing toward the feet or past them. Inhaling to bend the elbows. Exhale, pressing up. You can bend any amount or not at all. Remembering child's pose is always an option as well, anytime during your practice. Inhaling. The more you bend those elbows, dropping the crown of the head toward the mat, the more challenge you're giving those muscles. Give me 3 more breaths. Reach up through the sits bones. Find that press, that extension all the way up the spine. Last one. So strong. Bringing your hands back to more centered posture. And from here, just bending those knees almost to the mat, then exhaling back into your downward dog. Do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, melt it back. Spine stays so strong. Shoulders are strong and engaged. Arms are stable. Last one. Shifting to the right foot here. And if you can, or if you want, you can even take that left foot and just kind of press the right heel to extend that calf a little bit more. And then bringing that back center, switching, shifting your weight to your left heel. And if you'd like, you can take that right foot and just help to extend that heel a little bit longer. If something hurts or doesn't feel like a good stretch, then I would just back out of that pose. Lots of good breath. Releasing that. Eyes looking forward, and you can step or hop yourself up to your forward fold. Relaxing forward into that. Softening those knees. Taking those hands to the low back and interlacing your fingers. Roll the shoulders back and open. Extend those arms. Inhale, push through the heels. Lift the heart. Reach your hands toward the mat. If you want, you can extend those index fingers. Big inhale. Exhale, pull the belly in. Melt the knees. Lift the pinkies up and overhead. Press through your heels. Big breath. Exhale, folding. Lifting those hands as high as your shoulders are comfortable with. Do 2 more breaths. Legs are really active. And last one. Releasing those hands, letting them melt forward. Ragdoll those arms. Roll your spine all the way up to stand. Shoulders roll back. 1 or 2 more times. All right, so feeling warmer, we're going to keep going. Spreading out through those toes. Zipping up strong. Roll back and open, doing some hip openers. Inhale to lift. Scooping tall, exhale, dive down, long spine. Drop the chin. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bringing it back, step or hop into your plank. Toes or knees, take a breath. Exhale, as you come down, 8-point stance. So you're gonna bend so that the knees and the heart and chin just graze the mat along with your hands and your toes. And then press up, plank, right into a downward dog. Take a breath here, reach the heels down, reach the sits bones up, fan them open. And then taking this right here through a chaturanga. Inhale into your cobra, your upward dog. Exhale right back into your downward dog. Right into your plank. 8-point stance again. Knees, chest, chin, and your hands and your feet. Take a breath, pushing actively through those hands, and then scoop into your cobra or your upward dog. Exhale, float into that downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Taking that inhale, right leg up. Exhale, drawing that knee wide to the outside of the elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale, navel pulls in nice and wide. 3 more breaths here. Finding that range of motion with your breath. Using a combination of strength and flexibility. Engaging through the core. Trying to make contact with the arm as you bring that knee forward and through. Last time, drawing that forward, stepping wide. So we're in a wide lunge, and you can have blocks for your hands. And it's okay to allow your front toes to open a little bit to the side. So from here, taking that back knee all the way down, flattening through the toes. You can stay right here. If you want to take this a little bit deeper, you can drop to one forearm, your left forearm. Maybe there's room to go a little bit deeper. Remember, nothing is static here. You can wrap that right arm to the outside of the right foot. You can sway a little bit, right and left, letting your hip get into that pose a little bit further. You can make adjustments in your hand or foot placement anytime. Breathe into this pose right here. Taking one more breath. And then bringing your hands back, tuck your back toes under, and take your back foot stepping forward wide so our feet are mat width apart into a Malasana squat. Now you can always take a block to support your hips if that's more comfortable. If your heels are off the mat, you can roll up a towel or blanket to stick under there. And if you are comfortable getting your feet flat, go for it. Elbows come to the insides of the thigh bones. Press the palms together, heart center, reminding us to keep those muscles zipped up. Sit so tall. Breathe the shoulders right on top of the hips, stacking them up. Take another breath here. Big hip opener. And then from here, we're going to take this to some chaturanga arms. And if you can crow pose, great. So we're trying to get into a little kind of egg shape. We're pulling the belly button in strong. And you're going to squeeze and kind of thigh master those upper arms. Big hands, plant your palms. And as you go onto your tiptoes, belly button pulls in, arms press to the legs, legs press to the arms. And you're going to reach forward through the top of your head. And maybe your toe will lift and maybe not. And if you're finding that it's like almost there but not quite, you just want to put some body weight into that upper body. You're getting those arms to support part of your body weight that they don't normally support. And if you happen to get both toes off the ground, go for it. Pushing strong. So you're trying to push and broaden through that upper back. If I was putting my hand on the middle of your upper back, you'd be trying to press against it. And then from here, just stepping into your forward fold. Extending up, relaxing and melting through the upper body. Big toes come together. Circling around, releasing those fingers. Roll the shoulders back and open. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. And one more time. Inhale, lift. Heart lifts up. Little back bend at the top if there's room for it. Exhale, fold, melt. Release those arms. Roll yourself up. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So top of your mat, inhale. Exhale, diving down, long spine. Into your plank, step or hop, take a breath. Exhale, 8-point stance. Inhale, up. Exhale, right into your downward facing dog. And then flowing right through that chaturanga again. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Back into your plank. 8-point stance. Chin, chest, heart, knees. Push strong through those hands. Really strong in those arms. Elbows in tight. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg this time. Inhales, reach way up. Big extension. Exhale to the outside of that left elbow. Lots of breath here with your movement. Trying to touch the knee toward the back of the arm. Navel pulls in strong, finding the strength in this posture. Keeping strong extension through the arms. Last breath here. Stepping that foot wide. Allowing the toes to open a little bit, whatever feels natural. Remember, you can get a block for your hands if you like. Just finding those feet in this lizard lunge. And exhaling, bringing that back knee down to the mat, flattening through the toes. You can stay right here. If this is feeling like a big hip opener, a big hip stretch, then you're in a good spot. If you would like to take it a little bit further, you can play around with that. Bringing a forearm to the mat, maybe two. Remembering you can always adjust your postures anytime. Maybe wrapping the outside of that foot. Using your breath to improve your pose, to help your pose. So you're inhaling, getting some height in your spine. You're exhaling, letting your body melt toward the mat. breathing into the tightest muscles that you're feeling. And take one more breath. And then unwrapping anything that you might have wrapped up, tuck your back toes under. Step forward into your Malasana squat. Finding that squat right there. Sitting your weight back into the heels. And again, you can play around with your foot placement here. Finding that prayer. Lifting tall. Reaching through the spine. So we're taking the legs out of that breath equation. You're feeling your body zipped up, all those bandha muscles locking to the middle of the body. Starting at the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, root lock, and you're just engaging through the pelvic floor all the way up the spine. And from here, trying that crow pose again. So squeezing, getting those knees up close to the armpits, spread out those fingers. Reach forward through the crown of the head, navel pulls in, push through the middle of the back, pushing up, up, up. And from here, you can step or hop into plank. Move through your chaturanga. Big inhale, up, cobra, upward dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Eyes looking forward, step or hop, forward fold. Relaxing through the upper body. Inhaling all the way up. Exhale your hands to heart center. Interlock your fingers. Let's just roll those wrists out. Just draw a little circle. And you can roll the other way. Just working through that wrist range. And releasing that out. Nice work. Come to the top of your mat. We're going to add some balance into our practice. So if you like having something as a touch point, you can have a table, you can have a chair, you can put yourself next to a wall. So anything that would help you access your balance the best way possible, get yourself set up for that. You also can take a block if you want to. As we go into some of our balance options, we're going to be bringing it down. So if you want to have a block there to bring the floor up a little bit, you can get that block ready to go. Top of your mat, find your mountain posture. So taking that time to reach through your toes, to activate those legs, spiral the thigh bones. Be strong in that physical presence. Be strong in that breath. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale all the way into your chaturanga, any way you want to get there. Inhaling up. Exhaling into your downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg way up. Exhale, drawing it toward the back of that arm. If you want to add a push-up as you go, you can shift that weight forward. One more time. Bringing that all the way forward, planting your foot, planting your back foot in a warrior stance. Inhaling up, warrior one. Finding that big warrior lunge. Left side body is going to rotate forward. Tail is tucked under a little. Lift up strong through the heart. Your hands are together or apart. If it bothers your shoulders, your hands can be heart center. Breathe the heart up to the ceiling. Spinning that left side body forward. Take one more breath here. Stepping forward onto that front leg, finding your balance. Warrior three. So again, taking care not to let everything drift open, but keeping it squared up. And as you feel ready, hinging any amount. Those arms can airplane, they can stay in mountain, they can Superman, so whatever's gonna work for your warrior three. Really strong activation of these muscles. Shoulders pull back, glutes are squeezing. You're opening the front body by squeezing and engaging the back body. Extend strong, like you're pushing against something with your foot. You're reaching through the crown of the head. Take one more breath. And then if you can, open. Woo. Open and kite. So your gaze, your drishti, focus, is somewhere on the floor in front of you. And you are so strong from the core outward. You're radiating through those fingers and toes. And if you have room for it, you can bring your hand down to touch on a block, or maybe to touch on the mat. Open and stack the shoulders, left over right. Push through that floating leg. So anywhere you're at, any shape this pose takes, keep that spine extended. Find that big hamstring stretch in your standing leg. One more breath. And from here, taking this, bending that all the way down into your lunge. Walk the front foot wide. So we were doing that big hip opener on the other side. Turn it right back into that low lunge. And you can pick up where you left off. So taking the time to, again, place your arms, place your legs. Maybe you were wrapped, maybe you had a block. If you would like to try and go a little bit further with this pose, you can, with your back knee up or down, it doesn't matter. You can take those arms and you can airplane. If you would like to, you can wrap that right arm underneath your thigh bone and reach those fingers out to either side. Airplane, hands down on the mat or on the floor. Or if you'd like to go for that challenge, float. And if you want to try and bind, flip the palms over, then the elbows. And maybe you're going to find a bind. Reach through the top of the head. So again, finding that low lunge. Lots of good breath. And releasing that out from wherever you're at. Stepping right back into a downward dog. And pedal those heels out. Walk the dog just a little bit. Eyes looking forward and bending those knees, taking a step or hop. Finding your forward fold. Relaxing the upper body. Taking a deep breath all the way up. Floating the arms overhead. Exhaling to your heart center. All the way to your mountain. Take a moment and just check and see where you're at. So find that zipped up feeling. Feel how you're holding your weight. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So lifting yourself up nice and tall. Inhale, float the arms. Taking up that space, exhale, dive down. Drop the chin into your chaturanga. Inhaling up, cobra or upward dog. Exhaling to your downward facing dog. Left leg inhales way up. Exhale, drawing that knee toward your left elbow, toward your left arm. Trying to get a touch if you can. Finding any adjustments you need to make in your foot placement. Keeping that breath really strong. Finding that range. That stretch upward. That combination of your strength and your flexibility. Finding the edges of that pose. And your last one here. Stepping forward. Finding your warrior stance. And then once you feel like you have those feet, inhaling up, warrior one. Finding the same warrior pose. Maybe noticing differences. This time that right body, if it's drifting open, you're spinning that right hip and shoulder forward. Finding the arms you need in your warrior. Lift the heart. Strength in those legs. Equal effort, front leg and back leg. Sending the rib cage upward. Sending the shoulder blades down the back. Lots of breath here as you spin that right side body. And from here, taking one more breath. Big step forward, releasing those hands. Finding your warrior three. Hips and shoulders square forward. Finding that balance. You can stay up high with your warrior three. And then as you feel ready, You can hinge any amount. Keeping that strength, keeping that equal effort, reaching forward through the crown of the head, back through the back foot. Finding that strong support through all those muscles. There's a lot of muscle work happening right here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Feel the shoulders activating, feel the glutes activating. And then if you can, opening to the side for your kite, keeping your eyes on that spot on the floor in front of you. And if you wobble, that's okay. If you have to put your foot down and start again, it's okay. Open the heart, squeeze the shoulders back. Squeeze through the glutes to open the hips to the side in your kite. Reach through the crown of the head. You're tall, tall, tall. And then if you need to, bring your hand to a block or the mat for your standing half moon. So keeping it tall here, opening, trying to stack your right hip on top of your left, opening the right shoulder, trying to stack that right over left. Reach through the foot, reach through the fingers, reach through the crown of the head. Feel that hamstring stretch in that left side. Lots of good breath here. And then bending that knee right into your big lunge. I'm going to walk that foot out wide. Right back into your big hip opener lizard lunge. So whatever you were in before, you can kind of reapproach that pose. Find what feels good at this point in your practice, just being present in that pose, where you're at right now. And that's exactly where you need to be. Lots of good breath here. So you can stay right with this. If you would like to add those arm options, you can take the back toes up if that gives you more space to work. You can leave them down. So option to firm up through those legs and take those arms out of the equation. You can airplane on top of the thigh bone, or you can go for that underneath extension. Replacing those feet anytime you need to. Hands can be down on the floor, they can reach. Lots of good breath. If you want to try and bind, flipping the palms over, bending the elbows. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Big hip opener. One more breath. And then releasing any bind you might have. Planting the palms, step right into your downward facing dog. Walk the dog a little bit here, just pedaling those feet, pedaling those heels. Big, strong arm extension. And then eyes looking forward, you can step or hop, forward fold. Relaxing the whole upper body. Spread out those toes. Take a deep inhale all the way up. And exhale, open. Roll it back and through. Guys are looking really good. Keep it strong. We're going to keep moving. We'll try and keep our body temperature warm. So finding your toes spread out and we're zipped up. Roll the shoulders back and open. Activate those legs. Find that strong beginning point of your next flow. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, diving down into your plank. Step or hop. Take a breath. Moving through that chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale into your downward facing dog. And eyes look forward. We're going to go to a seated posture. So you can step or hop and find a seat. Make sure you have room behind you on the mat. Sit evenly on your sits bones. And you want to feel, as we enter into a boat pose here, you want to feel that you're lifting up through your heart. And you can start with your feet and hands on the mat so you have lots of support. String tied to the rib cage lifts you up. Wide belt, that transverse abdominis cinches in. And then as you feel ready, you can remove your feet and your hands And you can let your core muscles kick in a little bit harder. Lift that heart over the knees, set the shoulders down the back, really strong. So from here, rolling down with good control. And you can keep those knees right here if you like. Hollow body, pulling the navel down, trying to button it to the floor. If you want to take this a little bit further, you can extend those legs. So you're trying to scoop the stomach, you're squeezing your butt, reaching the shoulders down the back. Big breath, exhale, lifting up, find your boat. Moving between those two, inhaling, hollow body. And again, taking a breath, exhale, find your boat. Inhale, find your hollow body. Navel pulls down, down, down. Activate those shoulders and those hips. Big breath, exhale, lift. Heart lifts forward over the knees 2 more times. Exhale yourself up. Last time. Strong, strong, strong. Oh, almost. Anyway, you need to get there. And then come on out of that. Relax. Take a moment, release those muscles. If you'd like to walk it over to one side and just rotate, look over that shoulder. And then bring that to the other side. Hand to the knee, walk the other arm behind you. Turn and look over your shoulder. And then bringing that center. All right, so we're gonna be adding on to this. And if you were in the last class that was posted earlier in the week, we did a sequence and we're gonna build on that a little bit. And if you weren't there for it, it's okay, you'll be fine here too. So from here, going back into your boat, finding that boat pose, controlling it down into your hollow body. We're going to lower the chest or the shoulders and the head, going into your plow pose. So from here, reaching strong through those legs, you can stay right here. Get the shoulders beneath you, never putting pressure in the neck, always keeping it in the shoulders, and you can roll and hold the low back. So keeping your weight in your arms and in your back, you can roll over a little or a lot. As you breathe, feel the breath expand into the belly, the sides, the low back. Your arms can stay on your hips or they can come back down to the mat. But again, no weight in the neck. Always in the shoulders or in the arms. Activate the backs of the legs. Extend those knees behind you to feel a good stretch. And from here, we're going to control this back up into your boat pose. So using as little momentum as possible. If you find momentum somewhere, it's all right. Get yourself there. But use as little as momentum as you need. Only what you need. Right back into that hollow body. Into your plow pose. Take a breath here. Exhale, coming up. Into your boat. So we're going to add on to this with a little bit of controlled momentum. So rolling out of our plow, and we're going to see if we can get to our Malasana squat that we were in earlier. So we'll do a couple practice rolls here. Make sure you have some room in front of you and behind you. Just roll out your spine, roll to the middle of the shoulders, not onto the neck vertebrae, but just rolling through. If you find any flat spots in your spine, just roll them out, smooth them out, try again. So we're going to do 3 rolls, and on the last roll, feet are going to be nice and wide. We're going to try and come all the way up onto those feet into our Malasana Garland squat. Inhale, exhale, 3, crunching those abs, 2, last 1, reach forward, finding that Malasana. Planting your palms here, squeezing, seeing if you can shift your weight, bend the elbows, chaturanga pose. Good. Doing it one more time, finding your boat. Coming down into your hollow body, right into your plow pose. Belly button pulls in, rolling up into Malasana. Opening those hips. Take a breath. Plant the palms, reach forward. Push through those palms. Crow. And from here, you can either step or hop into your plank. Chaturanga down and through. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Eyes look forward, take a big breath. Exhale, sit, jump through to sit. Find your boat. All the way down, hollow body. Into your plow. Take a breath. Molasana. Finding that open hip. Crow pose if you want it, there's your option. With or without your toes leaving the mat, take a breath. Into your plank. Into your chaturanga. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. One more time, eyes looking forward, jump through. Find your boat. Set that strong control at navel, pulls in, squeeze the legs. Hollow body to your plow. All the way forward to that garland squat. Sitting tall through that spine, lifting through the crown of the head. Hugging the upper arms. Step or hop. Flow through. Big inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. And step or hop. Finding right here. Almost there, guys. Roll over. Malasana. Now stay here. So we're going to have a bind option. Some rotation in Malasana. And again, if you want a book or a block to support those hips, whatever you need to make this pose work for you. You could also take this with the support of the floor if you have your back to the mat, and you could take that deep Malasana squat with the support of the floor. So make the pose work for you. Once you're here, adding some rotation. So taking that right hand to the mat, opening that left shoulder. Taking that here, take your hand, you can wrap the low back in a half bind. And then if you feel like you have some flexibility for this, you can take your bottom arm and wrap around the front of your shin. And maybe your hands are gonna meet, and maybe they're not. Mine are not, that's okay. Take a breath. And then release that out. Have a seat. Wiggle that out. Take an inhale up. Exhale, fold. And then bringing this up. Find your boat pose. Controlling it back. Into your plow. Exhale to your squat. So finding that rotation on the other side. Taking your left hand to the mat. You can drop that shoulder toward the inside of that knee bend. Right hand reaches and opens the heart to the side wall. If you'd like to go to a half bind, you can wrap that to the low back. If you'd like to try for a full bind, you can flip that left palm over, bend the elbow. And if your hands happen to meet and you can hold your hands, go for it. And if not, don't worry about it. Turn the heart open. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then release out of that. Have a seat. You can shake out those knees. All right, from here, just swinging this around. Gonna go into a twist in your spine, in your hips and your shoulders. But for a moment, just tucking those feet under you. You can tuck the toes under. And you want your legs close together. So finding that drawn in posture, we're zipped up strong. You can bring your hands to your heart center, and then just slowly shift the weight back. Now imagine your heels are super glued together, or if you had a yoga strap, you could strap your heels together so they don't pop apart. So doing your best to keep those heels together, sitting the hips backward. And you might need to stop if it feels really intense on the arches of the feet, and you might need to back out of that and then return. Just give it a couple tries. And take one more time through, inhaling out of that, exhale, stick those heels together, try and keep them together as you lower it down, hips over heels. And then releasing that, taking your knees about hip width apart, a little bit wider if you need to. You can release those feet, and then really mindful of your knees as you sit. Your hands could be on your hips, you could be at heart center, you can just stay in mountain. You're gonna slowly hinge back, reach back through the tailbone. Again, mindful of your knees. Sitting in hero, trying to keep the shoulders right on top of the hips. And if something bothers a joint, like an ankle or a knee, back out of that pose. Sitting very tall here. This can be a lot on the tops of the feet, it can be a lot of the knees. You can do this with a block under your hips. And then slowly coming back out of that. Sitting back into a child's pose. Breathing down the spine. Taking that right arm, thread the needle, bring the right shoulder to the mat. Walk your left hand back overhead, trying to stack the left shoulder on top of the right. Take a breath into that twist. Exhale, try and twist a little more. Reach through the fingertips. Slowly unwind. Both arms extend. Take a breath here, let it travel all the way down your spine. As you exhale, taking that left arm, walking that underneath, bringing the shoulder to the mat, taking your right hand and just walking the fingers back and overhead, long through both hands. Inhale, extend tall through that spine, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, find that rotation. Last one. And slowly back out of that. Walking that forward, let the arms become very loose. Release any tension that you might have. And as you breathe, pull the belly button into your spine. Begin to draw those muscles back. Rolling the spine up, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Arms are just heavy and loose at your sides. Building up that spine, stacking the neck vertebrae. Arms roll back. All right, we are getting ready to finish our practice with an inversion and some Shavasana. So if you have anything that would make you give your body temperature a good place, you can take a minute and get what you need. So if you have to get a sweatshirt or socks or anything to keep yourself from cooling off too much, you can take a minute to do that. And then we're going to add a little bit of inversion to the end of our practice today and go into our Shavasana. Really nice job so far, guys. Bring it all the way down to your mat. All the way down. Plant your feet. Feet in line with the hips. Again, mindful of your knees, your shoulders, and your hips as you go through this. Take a minute to square yourself up. So you're squaring up the shoulders and the hips. Lengthen the back of the neck. Arms long at your sides, toes track forward. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, navel pulls in, peel the spine off the mat, one vertebrae at a time, lifting up into your bridge. Arms have good even pressure here. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, reapply your spine down onto the mat, walking one vertebrae at a time, articulating that spine all the way down to a neutral posture. So you should have that natural low back curve. Get some even pressure down the backs of the arms. Take a breath. As you exhale, walk the vertebrae off the mat one at a time. Even out the pressure in your feet. Keep the thigh bones parallel. And feel that even pressure all the way from the back of the shoulder down through the forearm, through the wrist, the palms, the fingers. Take a breath. Exhale, walk it back down. And now you can keep that right there if you'd like to. You can cross your right ankle over your left knee. Trying to keep your hips level as you lift. Take a breath. Exhale, lifting up into your bridge. You can keep your spine a little straighter here, just allowing your body to hinge at the hip. Letting that right knee fall wide if you can. Take a breath. Pushing strong through that left glute, that left foot. Take a breath again. And control that back down. One more time. And again, mindful of your knees, level out those hips. Take a breath at the top. Arms are strong. Control it down. Releasing that down, plant your feet. And you can either keep both feet down or you can take that left ankle and cross it over the right knee, letting that knee fall wide. Arms are long. Take a breath. Exhale, hinge and lift up into your single leg bridge. Take a breath. Again, letting that knee fall wide, really mindful of your joints as you move through this pose. Take a breath again and control it down. Belly button pulls in. We still have a lot of good core support. We're keeping those muscles active. Take a breath at the bottom. Exhale, control it back up into that single leg bridge. Do we need to do one more? Maybe. Let's do one more. Exhale through. Squeeze strong through that supporting leg. Control it down on your exhale. Release out of that. And let's just take that and hug it in. You can take some time to roll it out. Add any kind of stretching that you need to resolve your limbs. So if you need to do something different than I'm doing, that's fine. Do what you gotta do. Circle that tailbone. Massaging out the low back. Go the other way. If you need to do some butterfly circles, you can. Just working through any remaining muscle tension that you need to resolve before you go into your Shavasana. So you can take a moment to get yourself comfortable on your mat, and your Shavasana can be in whatever posture is going to be comfortable for you. And you can just become an observer of your breath. You've done a lot of breath and body control in the last hour. And so at this point, all you have to be responsible for is being present on your mat and noticing that breath. And you can take note of any muscle tension you're still feeling anywhere in your body. And if you find a place that you're holding any muscle tension, begin to consciously let that go. Let it melt away from you. Relax across your scalp. Smooth out the forehead. Soften the brow. And as you breathe, feel the eyes relax in their sockets, eyelids heavy over them. Feel the muscles in the face soften and relax. Allowing the jaw to go slack, feeling the tongue floating inside of the mouth. And as you continue to breathe, feel the rise and fall of the breath in the ribs and the belly. Feel the arms grow heavier at your sides. Feel the collarbones sliding away from each other as those shoulders relax into the mat a little bit more. Soften the muscles away from the bones, from the shoulders down to the elbows. Elbows down to the wrists. All the way through the fingertips, releasing any remaining tension out through the tips of the fingers. Leave the arms heavy at the sides. Feel the rise and fall of each breath as it moves through the torso. And as you exhale, feel your back melt into the mat a little bit deeper. Relax across the hips. And just as your arms are heavy at your sides, allow the legs to grow heavy beneath you. Feel the legs rotate in their sockets to a fully relaxed position, softening the muscles away from the bones, from the hips down to the knees. Softening the muscles from the knees down to the ankles. Releasing any remaining tension from the arches of the feet and feeling the space in between each one of your toes. And as your body relaxes as a whole unit, begin to deepen your breath. Allow that breath to wash over you from head to toe. Breathing in the fresh air, breathing out the old stale air. Letting that breath rejuvenate your muscles and your limbs. Letting it deliver that oxygen to your muscles, waking up your body. Waking up the arms and the legs, hands and feet, fingers and toes. And still keeping everything heavy and relaxed, draw the knees up. Extend your right arm overhead. Gently roll yourself onto your right side. Take a moment for your breath to regulate. And still keeping everything heavy and relaxed. As you feel ready, press yourself up to sit comfortably. Feeling the vertebrae float out of the tailbone. Arms are heavy and loose, lots of space between the ears and shoulders. And take a moment to acknowledge your accomplishments with your practice in the last hour and the challenges that you rose to meet. Take a moment of gratitude for the time you took for your practice today. And take a very full breath. And just let it go. Bring your hands together, matching them. Bringing them to your forehead for good thoughts, to your lips for good words, and to your heart for good deeds. Taking one more very full breath. And just let it go. We finish. Namaste. Thanks for joining me for a yoga class today. I hope that it was helping to make your day just a little bit better, and I hope you can come again next time.